Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to our channel. So in today's video, we're going to be putting some baskets together. It's starting to rain, so we're just going to do this on the deck. But I've been seeing baskets everywhere, so I thought it'd be a really fun video just to kind of play with some plant combinations and color combinations. And I want to show you that you can do this at home as well. So let me turn my camera around. Let me show you the plants and the baskets that we have today. Here is my table of plants today. I just have lots of colors, lots of purples, lots of yellow, some white, and then just bright orange color right over here. I was just really attracted to it, and I just thought, okay, I'll either use it in a basket or I'll find another use for it. So I have my fertilizers, I have my baskets. Let me put my camera down and then we'll go over some basics first, and then we'll get started planting these baskets up. Okay, so the first thing I purchased were these hooks. Now these typically don't come with your baskets, but these are really great just because if you have a post or if you want to even hang your baskets off of your fence, you can with these guys. They're pretty sturdy. I paid $30 for a set of 4, so I thought that was a pretty good steal. Now for the baskets, let me put this down. So now for the baskets, I actually went with a Coco fiber 14-inch hanging basket. So that's what that looks like. So let me talk to a little bit more about the material. So there are a variety of different materials of baskets. The most popular one is probably plastic, and it's just a plain container that has, a little chain to it, and you'll see those often in nurseries. There are ones that kind of have the same metal framing as the one I showed you, but it kind of has a moss outline. There's some other ones that are made of organic matter, and then there are the ones that I have with the Coco fiber. So the reason why I like the Coco fiber is just because it kind of has a rustic look to it. And although when you hang your baskets and as the season progresses, your plants will grow and kind of spill over, this just kind of adds like a instant pretty effect. Just because it's not just a plain plastic basket, which is totally fine. But I like something that I'm going to hang and that's pretty to look at right away. So that's why I like these guys. And for $50 for 4 of them, that's pretty inexpensive. So I definitely am excited to plant these up. So let me turn my camera around. Let's get some plants planted. I don't have an idea of what I'm going to be pairing with. I just saw color, I got excited, and I bought the plants. And but yeah, that's kind of how I am. I just kind of go with what feels right. So anyway, let me turn my camera around and we'll get these planted up. Okay, so let's first fill our basket. And when you are filling your basket with soil, remember, use potting soil, and you want to leave about an inch at the top left, just so when we're watering and planting, it's not going to spill over. So let's get in our soil in there. I have been so inspired by everybody's hanging baskets this season. I usually don't do hanging baskets that often, but when I do, I just want a lot of color, and I want to make sure that they're gonna perform really well. So I'll show you how I do that. And if you don't have like a huge garden, I think baskets is such a great way to go, just because it draws your eyes, it's color, it's flowers, so who doesn't love flowers? So, if you're working with a smaller area, then, consider a hanging basket this season. And you can put herbs, you can do so much with them. They're so versatile. You don't have to just do flowers. And then I just kind of tamper it down. Now, like I mentioned, for this basket, this is 14 inches. So a good rule of thumb to remember is a basket that's 12 to 14 inches wide, you want to plant between 3 to 5 plants. And one that is 16 to 18 inches wide, you can plant 5 to 7 plants. Of course, I always go over, so, that rule doesn't apply to me or you if you don't want it to. So, and I just wanted to show you guys that another great thing about this basket is it kind of has a flat bottom, so you can see when I'm working, it's not moving around and rocking around. If you have one that does rock around, you can just take a container like this one, and you just put the container on top and it's nice and sturdy. So just remember that. I don't need it just because ours has a flat bottom. I'm just gonna put that down there. And actually I like to use my big flower arrangement Lazy Susan, just so it's easier for me to turn it and see what I'm doing. Oh, let's add our fertilizer first. So I like I said, I like the Proven Winners slow release fertilizer. This is heat activated. So as the temperatures get warmer, this is gonna work better, and I'm gonna apply it now. And in maybe 8 weeks or so, I'll do a little bit more just to kind of get them to the end of summer. There is a scoop in here, and mine always is at the bottom. I don't know why, but mine are always at the bottom. But I'm just gonna eyeball it and then just kind of work that into the soil. Just like that. All right, so now for the fun part. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with this Nimisha first. I really love the flowers. They're just so fun and colorful. And this one, let's see, this one gets to about 18 to 12 inches tall and spreads 8 to 12 inches wide. So let's see. So that looks good, nice and centered. I kind of wanted to put this guy in the center. Let's see. You know what? We'll just go with it. We'll leave this one in the center. And then next, I'm going to be doing this Sun Beanie. And this is a Proven Winners plant. And I love my Proven Winners plants. Look at that color. It is like, doesn't that just scream like bright and happy and summer? I love this. So this one gets to, let's see, it stays short, 6 to 10 inches tall. So let's put this guy in. Let's see, maybe kind of like towards the front here. We'll kind of like plant it at an angle. Let's see, that looks good. Okay. Well, this is like a really yellow basket, so let's continue with this yellow theme. Next, I have the Super Bells Lemon Slice. Look at that color, you guys. So it's kind of got like these stripes of yellow and white. I just think this would go with so many colors or out in the landscape. I love this one. So let's see, let's keep these guys all together. And maybe, is that gonna be too much yellow? Okay, so I'm gonna plant this guy on the other side. Let's move the soil down like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to do this Snowstorm Giant Snowflake, and it's a Bacopa. So this will spill over. And I'm not sure what's going on with the leaves. They kind of browned a little bit, but I think they'll be fine once I get them planted. But again, this is another just beautiful plant. This is going to be a spiller, and it just has like the cutest little white flowers with a bright yellow throat, with the little pollen inside. It's so cute. I'm going to put this right in here, just like that. Okay, get those guys together. Let's move you a little bit closer. Just like that. This guy's still centered, perfect. Okay, so let's go with the white one. So this is a mini famous Neo White Calabrese. This is what that looks like. So pretty. I love a white flower. Okay, it's kind of packed. And then, let's see, should we do a Creeping Jenny? maybe a potato vine. About this guy. I think this guy. So we'll do the Sweet Caroline Red Hawk, and it's just a sweet potato vine. Let me show it to you guys right here. Really pretty. So it's kind of like a light purple. And I think potato vines are just like a classic, right? In a basket. They're just like the prettiest foliage accent to containers and baskets. So you really can't go wrong with a potato vine. I'm just gonna pack that in there. These 4 plants, they're jam-packed, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna top it off with a little bit of soil, just in areas that need it. And I make a total mess when I plant, just so you know. I'm a super neat freak, but when it comes to the garden and planting, oh my goodness, I make a mess, but I clean it up, so it's okay. Perfect. Look at that. Isn't that great? Just like instant color. Like, how easy was that? Perfect. Oh, I'm super excited for this one. All right, so let's do our next one. This looks pretty bright and cheery. I like it. Or do we take this out and put in Nimisha? Ooh, I don't know. Darn, if I only had more baskets. So we have that, or we have this. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm torn. I don't know. Do we not? Can we fit both? Or is that too optimistic? What if we took out the Jenny And then we'll put this. Or is that too much? I think that might be too crowded. Okay, I think I like that. Okay guys, so we got all of the baskets planted and they're all watered in, so we're good to go. So the next thing that I'm gonna be doing is just checking on these every few days just to see if they're moist. It's not hot yet, so I'm not gonna have to worry about watering them every day. But I did want to talk to you about some maintenance and what you can do to keep your baskets looking beautiful all season long. So the first thing is watering. Like I said, right now it's still kind of cool. So I think I can get away with watering just every few days. And what I'll do is I'll just stick my finger inside the soil and see if it's moist. And if it is, then I'll just kind of skip that day. But I think next week we're going to be hitting 80. So maybe I'll have to start watering every day starting next week. We'll see. But once the temperatures do get high, you are going to want to water your baskets every single day. I know it's a lot of work, but you have to keep your plants happy. These plants don't like to be dry, and you can tell, they'll tell you if they're unhappy. They'll just kind of start shriveling up and they'll just look really sad. So consistent watering is key. Consistency is the key word here. If you can get your plants on drip, that'd be even better, just because it's one less thing for you to worry about. For us, there's only 4 of them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and overhead water them with the hose, which will be super easy. I did it last year and it worked really well. But if you're going out of town or if you're traveling, make sure you have somebody that can water your baskets for you. Again, every day, sometimes twice a day if you live in an area that gets really, really hot. Another thing that's going to keep your baskets looking really great is fertilizing. You have to feed these plants. I know we did add the slow release fertilizer, which will last about 10 weeks. And at that 10-week mark, I'll usually add a little bit more on the top, and I'll just kind of work that into the soil. But in addition to that, I will be using a water-soluble fertilizer, and I will use it every week to feed our plants. And this is the one I'm going to be using, the Proven Winners one. So the NPK numbers are 24, 12, and 17. I used this one last year, and it worked really well. Our annuals did really well, so I'm just going to stick to this one. If you're not going to use the Proven Winners one, then just use or choose one that has the same kind of number and the same range. So maybe like a 20, 10, 20, or maybe a 20, 10, 15. Just kind of look for that NPK number range, and you should be good. And make sure it's water soluble. So the thing is, with these plants, they're super hungry, and they'll perform for you as long as you give them consistent water and you feed them. Because every time you water, you're going to be flushing out those nutrients. So there's nothing for them to kind of uptake those nutrients, or there's no nutrients for them to uptake. That's why I like to water once a week with this, and that is going to guarantee you those nice, big, beautiful baskets. You know, sometimes you go into the city and you see those huge baskets, and you just wonder, like, okay, are they using some magic plant that we're not allowed to get ourselves, or they're not for the public? But they totally are. They just fertilize those planters a lot. So for me, once a week works well, and I get these nice, beautiful blooms all season long. Another thing I like to do is just kind of clean up the plants kind of mid-season. Some plants require deadheading. There are some varieties like Supertunias that you don't have to deadhead. So if deadheading, or, you know, kind of if you want less maintenance, then and just choose plants that don't require you to do those types of chores. For me, I don't mind every day. I just kind of check on them. Sometimes I'll just pull off any spent blooms. Some of the Calabrese too are self-cleaning, so there are so many plants that you can choose that are self-cleaning. And also around August or so, or mid-season, you're going to want to give your plants a nice trim. Usually at that time, the petunias start getting really leggy and, you know, kind of tired out. So what I like to do is I'll come in and I'll just cut them all. I'll cut them about halfway, and that really just shoots more energy into the plant, and they're going to produce a lot more blooms. So don't worry about cutting some of those like long stems. You know, sometimes we get these leggy petunias that have like three little blooms on this long stem. And it's just not worth leaving that on there just to send energy to those 3 little blooms. So I just cut that off. But I think that's it. I think making your own baskets is always really fun. I hope it inspired you to go out and get your own plants. You get to choose what you like. You get to choose the color palette. So there's so many benefits to making your own. And, you know, I just love playing with different colors every year and seeing kind of what we can come up with and experiment. Some of these plants I've never planted before in the basket. So I'm super excited to see how they're going to perform, and we'll continuously post pictures on our Facebook and our Instagram page just so you guys can see how they age throughout the season. But I hope it inspired you to get your own baskets. Thank you again so much for watching today's video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.